Yo, what is good, my anime faithful? What is good, yo? Guys, I am a ninja, and if you wish to watch more of the anime G, you shall subscribe to these ninja skills. But, JoJo this week, guys, my lord. I don't think JoJo really knows what chill means. These guys are always going above and beyond, and I think that's one of the staples about JoJo is just really taking things to as far as possible without making them seem too impossible for their characters. Because I mean, to be fair, I'm pretty sure they've done stuff like this already, and to think that these guys are only getting stronger and they're gonna continuously grow now. We are in for quite a show. One being Little Bama. Guys, I honestly didn't think that Little Bomber was gonna be like, I don't know. I was gonna say one of the stapling stands that I'm starting to like, because as I'm seeing it now, with Little Bomber doing what he can, he has a lot of broken things that work in his, work for him. But at the same time, if an enemy knows anything about these techniques or anything about Little Bomber, it makes it a little bit easier to uh, work upon it or just like get around it. Um, just because, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, it's a plane that is pretty broken and everything, but at the end of the day, if you don't have the like surprise attacks, and if you don't have the ability to catch these guys off guard, then what do you got? Like, you literally can't really do much if you can't uh, necessarily get the upper hand and stuff like that. So that's why I like when it comes down to these things. The show usually gives us these reasons to believe that our characters already kind of have a lot planned out. So with this week's, it was as soon as the only thing that really turned the table was, wow, you see that guy doing flips, was the fact that as soon as they found out about what was popping off and what was possible, aka Geo and Little Bomber user, they pretty much made a weird plan with no like dialogue between what the plan was actually going to be about. And that's the true reason why I love these types of shows. They have this chemistry now that can never really be broken because of what they've been through. And I know it sounds kind of corny, but this is another key example of Geo getting this. Oh my god, I was pushing square to attack. Geo getting these praises from people that he works with, and it being, like, oh my god, did he just kill me? No. And it being, fairly true. And I like that aspect because now that he's growing more and more in the eyes of these, you know, overall people, it makes it that much simpler for them to react to him and to actually follow his code, because that's just what, he's gonna need their help, and B, if they don't follow him, there's a high chance that they just could end up dead. And because of that, I just love that we can watch and enjoy the growing of these characters as a whole. Because to be fair, a lot of them really get into, I mean, every JoJo character gets into these dire situations. I just feel like every time we get these situations, it needs somebody really cool, calm, and collected to always kind of figure things out. And they purposely picked the most like wild cannon guy for this week because he's just clearly the one that would have had the most problems figuring all of this out by himself. Not to mention, even after figuring it out, to then solve the case by himself, he had to do something that was rather drastic. And this is kind of where this whole trust and knowing what one would want from you while you're in a dire situation. And it was pretty much Geo getting nabbed. After getting nabbed, he leaves, or like his button falls off, which then he turns it into a tongue. So now, whenever the guy with Little Bomber cuts off his tongue, he still has a way to live. Like, he literally only gets to live because our boy Geo made him a tongue. Like, that's how ridiculous these guys get. And that's why I love it so much, because it fits. There's no way he's going to tell this kid to do something and then not seemingly have a foolproof plan that was going to be evolved behind it. And that's just JoJo for you. That's just how these guys have been getting down lately. And then I love it because, to be fair, he didn't have, if he didn't believe him, and just like the guy who can record stuff, if he was like him, he probably would have got bodied. He probably wouldn't have taken any advice. But I also can't say that now, because we have seen him under the situation that he's in and not liking the guy. We've seen him still take advice from Geo. So it's just one of those things where you kind of just got to take it with a grain of salt. I mean, to be fair, Geo's ridiculously powerful, and it's been shown time and time again that he's much stronger than them, probably. Okay, so what you need to do is hold R1. Hold on a second. Alright, sorry, I needed to cough really bad, and I didn't want you to hear that. But, for Geo to be as intelligent as he is, and for people to not follow his example now, would just be counterproductive to their lives and to their overall goals. I feel like not only is he intelligent, he's been proven time and time again that he wins, that he comes correct. You know what I mean? So if you have someone that has a 50-50 chance to always be right, or you have someone that's like 75% right all the time, who are you gonna rather trust, you know? I mean, we even get an instance of seeing the recorder guy. We saw his powers not even work because of how smart the stands were. So even when we have people that technically are supposed to be the ones to bring us the most information, so to speak, if certain things aren't going their way, or if people have made ways to block out that, then you're not gonna get it. It's just that simple. And that's why JoJo also makes the villains not just like, oh man, this guy's evil for evil reasons and this and that. Like, sure, he could be that, but at the same time, you're gonna get a fleshed out character that also wants to he wants to straight up body people, and once he bodies people, he's doing it so well that not many people can even mess with him. So I don't know. We're looking at the growth of everybody's relationship with Geo, I feel like, because at the end of the day, if they don't listen to him and they're fighting someone like the boss, they're gonna die. They're dead. and I think that's what they're playing on. I think they're playing on there's a much bigger threat out there, and these are just the elite guards. So imagine if the boss actually tried to get his hands on them, and because of that, all of a sudden, they're losing teammates, or they're actually dying instead of just overall getting beat up. I mean, this episode is kind of another one of the proving points of why JoJo kind of is lackluster in the sense of the death departments, and I only say that because it kind of sucks that they show us such a prominent fight, right? They show us this amazing battle, um, people making really clever moves and moving up and stuff, but then all of a sudden we're struck by um, this feeling. Well, I was struck by this feeling of it doesn't really matter if certain people are in danger right now, because look at what happens. You know what I mean? Like, they both characters had like their throats pretty much bit into and like ripped out, and what happens? They both still can talk completely fine. The next scene after they win the whole entire battle is them with no bruises at all, So I can understand the casual JoJo watcher seeing this and be like, and you guys think this is cool? Like, they didn't even show you how they got healed. They didn't even show you if they did get healed, was Gio worried about it, just like how he was worried about other people who seemingly weren't bleeding anymore after he healed them. It just feels like some of the stuff that held a lot of gravity and weight just kind of went out the window. And that happens a lot in, I feel like, this type of show. But at the same time, I think it's warranted. I really need to kill this archer. Sorry. But overall, if you guys don't like JoJo, then I'm pretty sure this type of stuff would have already pushed you away from the content of it. So I don't think that's the problem as much as just the overall nagging point of where does this go and why does it feel like they get out of every situation completely okay. Um, I don't know. I love it though, because it's the cleverness about how it was done, like the cutting out his tongue and believing that he's going to pretty much get. Oh, this guy right here is drunk. He cut out his tongue and knew that one guy would be pretty shooken up about the whole thing, and because of that, he was right. Like his that one thought process really paid off, and that's what JoJo has going for it in the long term. A lot of this paying off of crazy ideas just being thrown out and completely working on the fly. I think that's a really huge focal point of what JoJo characters bring to the table. And I think if anybody's really into death battles and stuff like that, I feel like the JoJo characters in general can't really be good for that, because to be fair, I feel like the abilities that some of the characters that we love and some of the characters that would be relatively a well fight, like a well fit for those characters, I don't think anybody's intelligence levels are on JoJo's pars besides like some really OP characters. But I mean, those OP characters, you would not want to see them fight a JoJo character, because most of them are planet busters and stuff like that. I mean, there's some smart people that aren't like galaxy busters or planet busters, but they definitely probably aren't as cool, and not many people would know about them, because there's a lot of characters out there, and I feel like a lot of people just stick to what they love, and that's another reason why JoJo has such a huge following, because everybody that likes a certain character like will let you know they like that character. So I like that aspect of the fandom. Oh my god, I didn't mean to do that. Ooh, hit circle right when you land, no fall damage. Um, but to be fair, this week's episode felt so um, it felt really singular in the sense of its objective. It was just like, hey, you remember these guys we were dealing with? We're gonna deal with them. You know, like there was nothing else really to take from this episode besides that, really, and that's fine because I mean, it's been a while since JoJo's actually just done what it's supposed to do in the traditional sense of like, oh, this battle was going on and we're going to continue this battle normally with not any weird points just popping up out of nowhere. You know, like they just didn't go with that. So to see the teleporting like fish and to know that the tongue was still active and trying to slow down the process of this week's episode was super dope. But it just goes to show you that regardless of what happens, these characters will always try to find a way to, you know, bring the advantage back to them. And I think that's what truly is worth looking into with certain animes. And I just thought of someone who would be like way smarter than a JoJo character at one point, but then at the same point, he could not be as smart, and that's like Light Yagami, you know, from Death Note. So those are the types of people that I put on par with the JoJo's intelligence level. They're just ridiculously smart, and to think that Light has no way of fighting the way they do, it just wouldn't be a fair fight at all. But overall, my anime people, I hope you guys enjoyed. I really wanted to play this game because, as you can see, I'm just grinding for a crap ton of XP. And then I'm just going to continue my hunt for destroying every single mini-boss in the game. Because in this game, you definitely need those mini-bosses. And if you don't, you kind of miss out on bigger prizes. So that's definitely what I'm working on. I've kind of mastered this area to a T, where I like to go all the way up top and fight those guys by the burning building because they seemingly give just a little bit more XP per character per person. But that's just what I've noticed from playing in the short time I've been playing. So with that being said, everybody, I hope you have an amazing day, night, evening, whatever the case may be when you're watching this. And I will talk to you pretty soon here. I got more content coming up soon, so if you do enjoy your boy and like the content I'm dropping, make sure you drop a like and subscribe because I will be dropping something relatively soon. And if you do like that video as well, it would be greatly appreciated. So with that being said, I hope you guys have an awesome one. And I'm trying to think. There's something I saw recently. I can't remember right now, though. Dang it. But alright. I'll maybe remember in my next video. But with that being said, I'll probably be playing Sekiro for a while on the channel. Just because I need to get the muscle memory of all this stuff. And it would be quite nice if I could just do that without any type of just like switching games and stuff. So I hope you guys enjoy the background content because I'm playing live trying to get good literally. So once I'm good, you will definitely notice a difference, and I'll probably be going into higher level areas with harder enemies to fight. So with that, date/live is coming up next for my reviews. So with that being said, everybody, peace.